Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about how to do your fuel management if you own your own gas, meaning you set the prices and you get the delivery when you need it. In the last video we talked about how to do fuel management if you're commission based or non-ownership gas, meaning you either get commission or you don't get anything off of the gas and somebody else actually controls the gas. So if you are a commission based agent, make sure you watch the other video and not this one. This video is meant for those that actually own their own gas, which is about 70% of the industry. So to get started, you want to make sure that your settings are done properly. That's A. And B, you want to make sure that you've actually started doing data entry on your daily reports, meaning entering in your gas sales, your stick readings, and basically managing your short over at that point. So first, let's go in here and check your configurations. So I'll go in here, and this typically would have been done already if you started doing your day report. So please again make sure that you start doing your day reports before actually going through this training session and setting up your account for the fuel management component. So when you go into the third step over here, you'll notice that by default we've already set up everything to be ownership gas. So you have ownership gas over here instead of agent. Your mid-grade is actually blended at 6535. You have set that you have diesel for yes, and you actually pay your jobber with an EFT, which is how most jobbers are paid nowadays. If you have gas cash cards, meaning you sell those $20 cash cards where the customer can go outside and pump the gas and get 10 cents off a gallon, you want to make sure you set this to yes. This is very important because when the jobber actually sends you a draft notice, they will actually have a line item in here that basically shows they're collecting this money for the collection for the cash cards. If you're a branded store, you want to make sure you set this up as a branded brand, which means that the jobber is actually collecting all of your credit card dues. If you're unbranded, the jobber has no affiliation with the credit cards, meaning you get your credit cards directly into your bank account. Make sure those three settings are done properly, and then you can kind of just go ahead and click next, and finish. Now, once this is done, the next step for us to do is you've been obviously recording all of your gas sales on the day report. So the system has been recording all of your sales. You've also been recording all of your actual stick readings in the system. So with those two things being done, the thing that's missing is entering in your purchases. So for example, if I go into day closing, store, and look at the last day that I actually did my day report. If you look at my detailed view, which is this little folder looking thing right over here, it will show me what my running gas inventory is. So for instance, when this page loads, you'll see that my opening was this much. I sold this much because I haven't been recording any purchases as of now. My closing is this much, but my actual stick reading showed this much. So when I take this number minus this number, it basically tells me that my overshort is about 53,813 gallons. So what I will do in this case is I will record this on my side notepad over here for both of these gallons. Now, the important reason for us to record this is so we can go into the system and actually make all of those purchases in a lump sum so that your system inventory matches your actual stick reading. This is going to be very critical for your profit and loss calculations. So now that I know that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into gas, delivery, and I'm going to go ahead and enter in my first delivery. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to enter in the delivery on the last date that I actually did my day report. In this case, it's the 7th. It shows my stick reading over here. And I'm going to go ahead and say that my actual inventory is that I'm delivering is this many gallons, whatever I had in my running inventory balance. So I'm actually getting this much gallons delivered. And my diesel is set to 0 because I don't have any diesel right now. And I'll go ahead and add this delivery. And for example, I can just set over here initial delivery and save this. Now, once I've entered in my initial delivery, what I also want to do is estimate my cost. So I'll go here and I'll estimate my cost. Now you can typically just take your last load and enter that cost in over here. So let's say for example, my last load came in for 168.9. For my regular, and my super came in at 189.9. Once I did this, I want to go ahead and finalize this invoice so that it's eligible for payment. and I want to go ahead and pay this invoice off by clicking on this pay icon. Invoices, pay this invoice off. Now if I don't want it to affect my balance sheet for this month, I can always just go back to the last month or whenever prior to me starting this day report and pay it off. So now that the invoice is paid off, if I go into my gas, day closing, store, and I look at my running balance, which should be fairly zeroed out, which in this case it is, right? I had this much was my opening, I purchased this much, I sold this much, this is my closing, and this is my actual stick reading, which is matching penny to penny, basically gallons to gallons. So my short over is nothing. So that's basically how you set up your fuel management component of CStorePro. The next video we're actually talking about how to actually receive deliveries, enter costs, make payments, and reconcile your basically credits and all that stuff from the fuel. So I hope you enjoyed this training video. It was fairly straightforward. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact CStorePro at 281-265-2299. Thanks guys.